What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. It's another Sunday. It's an early one, man. I just got the news that Roger Goodell said next year we're going to have 8-something international games. Boy, I'm telling you, when you got to wake up at, 7 in the morning or whatever to go do this, blah, 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 whatever. Y'all get it. I'm not very excited to watch Carolina play some football at 8 in the morning. It ain't that exciting. I'm sorry, Roger. If you're going to do the international games next year, you got to give me much better teams to root for when I'm waking up early for it. But I see we got a lot of people on the stream right now. Look, this is what we're doing for the next hour until that game starts, or at least getting close to that starting game time. We're going to be answering some fantasy football questions. Just a standard, Sunday Q&A, live Q&A. I got the Darnold jersey on today. You probably have never seen many people in the Vikings Darnold jersey. Look, he's the quarterback. We got to root for the man. He should have a good day here today. What do we got going on? Aiden says, 5:30 in Cali. Why do I do this to myself? That's what I'm talking about, Goodell. What are we doing, bro? Phenom says, good morning. Nick says, what? Who isn't excited to see some bad football? Call Saul says, good morning. Armando says, what up? Wide receiver 2, full PPR. You got Demarcus Robinson, Noah Brown, Sterling Shepard, Gabe Davis, and or Alec Pierce. It's tough this week. So for me, if I'm looking at this, I think the play that I want to go out with this week between all of these options, I think I'm going to roll out Sterling Shepard, I think would be my play. Him or Alec Pierce. It's going to be one of those two. I think I'm going to lean Sterling Shepard over Alec Pierce just because it's full PPR. Phenom says, LMAO, Bryce Young starting 2, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we get Bryce Young today, so we're going to get some Bryce Young. Let's pull that game up, in fact. Let's talk about that one just for a little bit. Schedule. Yeah, I mean, we got Daniel Jones and Bryce Young. Who the hell wants to watch this? Sickos. Us. All of us people in the chat right now, we're sickos. I don't know why we're doing this to ourselves. What do we got? Call Saul says, I am against Chase this week, so I'm hoping JJ has an elite performance this week. The matchup's great. I mean, is he going to match Chase? Probably not. I mean, that's like an all-timer from Jamar Chase. But, yeah, it should have a good game for the Vikings. Phenom says, I have Leggett in the flex right now with multiple buys on the bench. Thoughts about putting Hawkins versus the Jags instead? I like Hawkinson versus the Jags more than Leggett. They're similar. I think Leggett probably has a higher ceiling but a lower floor, if that makes sense. Like, I think Leggett would potentially be able to go out there and get the touchdown, get the big play, whatever it may be. But there's also a chance that Leggett goes and gets like 2 catches. I think Hawkinson's more of like a 4, 5, 6 catch guy. Maybe gets, some red zone looks and things like that. So if you need a safe floor, I'm going Hawk. But if you need the swing, Leggett's probably the swing. But he does have a lower floor. Porter says, start 2, full PPR. You got Devontae Adams, Nico Collins, and Chuba Hubbard. Look, man, it sounds like Nico is trending towards playing. I am going to gamble the Nico Collins start in my league, but my options are not Devontae Adams and Chuba Hubbard. My options are Nico or Ricky Pearsall, Nico or Demario Douglas. These are the options that I'm looking at. So I'm willing to gamble that one. For you, these are legit options. I think Chuba and Adams, if you have any type of risk or if you feel like there's any type of risk of Nico not playing, I'd wait. But if you're just looking for the 2 best players and you're okay risking it for the biscuit, Nico Collins and Devontae Adams are the guys that I would be going for. What do we got? Austin said, I had to play Chase, so do I play Jennings, BTJ, or Kareem Hunt? I need the best ceiling. I'm leaning Jennings or Hunt. I'd go Hunt. Hunt has a higher floor and a higher ceiling. He'd be my play this week. Luca Bucky Irving or Nico at the flex. Everyone else is on buy or hurt, or do I grab Leggett off waivers? I would wait on Nico. I'd try and play Nico, and honestly, if you get surprised by Nico Collins on Sunday Night Football, I'm playing a guy like Demarcus Robinson, Tutu Atwell, Jonnu Smith, one of these guys that you could potentially play tomorrow in the flex instead. So I'd lean with Nico, risk it. What else? Where else are we at? Ray Davis or Bigsby? I have Cook already starting. I would go Bigsby. Tony says, brother, give me Russ. Bro, I would give you Russ, but I probably need a little bit of a better offer. I don't see a reason for me to get rid of my QB right now, man. He feels good, and Derek Carr, he seems like he's going to be down bad, man. But hit my line, Tony. Maybe we can keep working something, maybe. Armando says, how you feeling about Ingram with T-Law out? I can swap out for Shepard of the flex. I would still probably rather play Ingram. Phenom says, that's kind of what I was thinking. LOL, I think I'm taking a shot with Leggett because they got me 7 and I need ceilings. 6-3 tied for first, so I can take a risk this week. Makes sense. Luke says, a lot of people on bye, kind of down bad. Would you flex BTJ, Jennings, or Ingram? I'm playing BTJ over those options. Chuba or Mason, and your thoughts on CMC? I'm playing Chuba over Mason by a mile. I think CMC is he's gonna come out and be fine. Is he gonna have a huge day today? Probably not, but I think he's gonna be fine. Cap says, good morning, beautiful people. Good morning to you guys too. Flex spot, McMillan or Robinson, Rams or Tolbert. I'm assuming Robinson on the Rams is what he's saying. McMillan, Robinson, or Tolbert. I'd probably go Jalen McMillan. Call Saul says, I got an eye on Raymond, if no Nico. Makes sense. Yeah, just have those. If you're going to wait on Nico, anybody in the chat right now, if you're thinking of waiting on Nico, make sure you have secondary options. Just so you can at least plug somebody in, If you're gambling, you're going to gamble, but make sure you have the backup options as well, the insurance. Mark says, can't decide who to grab off waivers for just one bench spot. Christian Watson, Jalen Coker, Parker Washington, Sterling Shepard, Elijah Moore, or Wandell. Half PPR, thank you. For me, it's between Christian Watson and Wandell. Those would be the two guys that I'd be looking to pick up. I think Christian Watson probably has the highest ceiling of all of those players when they're off bye and everybody's healthy and everything. So probably Christian Watson if you're just looking for a swing of potentially a big play guy. Yeah, I have Nico, and since I played Jamar Chase, I got no choice. Risk it. I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense. With B-Rob out, I have to play Ray Davis, Jalen Warren, Tajay Spears, or Akers. Thanks for your help. I'm going to go Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren would be my play there. Bam says, what up? New to the channel. Well, appreciate you being here. Go ahead and ask me whatever questions you got, Bam. Appreciate you. Gerald says, thoughts on Bucky today? Let's talk Bucky, man. I got Bucky in my rankings currently as my... Where we got him at? Keep in mind, this is PPR rankings. But I got Bucky as running back 28. So, a running back 3 right now. Rick says, Ramondre or Addison, half PPR. The matchup makes me want to start Addison. Yeah, I probably would still start Addison. I think it's a good matchup for him. Tony says, move Brooks to IR before his game. That way you don't have to drop anybody. Is he even eligible for IR, bro? I was looking at him earlier. I didn't think he was even eligible. They just ruled him out? Interesting. I mean, I'll move him to IR and then I'll just pick somebody else up. Shout out you, Tony. What else we got? Border says, what's a QB you would look to target in trades? I've got Stafford and Drake May in a 12-man. That's why I have Devontae, Chuba, Nico, Amon-Ra, Mixon, and Kyron. I actually was just working on a list of players that I like in trades right now. These guys are past the bye, also have some pretty decent schedules, but like Jalen Hurts, he's definitely like my number one buy at the quarterback position. If you can get Jalen Hurts anywhere, I'm getting Jalen Hurts. Russell Wilson's a good buy. Justin Herbert's a good buy. Jared Goff, Sam Darnold. Those are some good buys. Even if you like Brock Purdy or Tua, I'd probably look at them as well. So those would be who I'd be looking at. Thanks, brother. In between Addison, Najee, and McConkey, what you think? That's a good question, actually. I feel like all of these guys are pretty close. I probably lean Najee over all of them. Right now, Najee is the highest in my rankings, and he probably has the safest floor of those guys. I probably lean Najee. I'm assuming this is a full PPR as well. If it's a full PPR, that would still remain the same. Excuse me, sorry. What do we got here as well? Is London worth it, or should I start BTJ? I mean, I would play London if he's healthy. If he's on the football field, I'm playing London over BTJ. Jonathan says Daniel Jones, CJ Stroud, or Mahomes, PPR. I'm playing CJ Stroud. Live trade, let's go. I don't know about that, Tony. Chris Olave droppable. Jesus Christ, yeah, kind of low-key. I have him in a league, and it feels like he's pretty much droppable at this point, bro. It's tough. It's tough. 12-man league, PPR, would get McMillan, Pearsall, or a handcuff like Trey Benson or Corum. Yeah, I mean, that looks like where we're about at right now. The unfortunate part is the team that I have Chris Olave on has been riddled with injury, and I already have McMillan, I already have Pearsall, and I already have Corum on it as well. So I would be dropping Chris Olave for guys not even this good. Yeah, I think he is probably droppable at this point, especially if you need players to play right now. So it sucks, man. Rafi says, good morning. Half PPR, need one running back, one flex. Options are Raheem Mostert, Josh Downs, Rashad White, Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, and Jake Ferguson. Okay, so one running back and a flex. I'm going Josh Downs and, oh, man, probably Rashad White. Sorry, we got a cat in the house, and the cat just is all up under the desk right now. I don't know what she's doing. Champ says, bro, how bad is Nick at fantasy? Mother effer sucks. He's not doing great in Idiot League Mates. I love Nick, though, man. Nick's a good guy, and he knows his shit, man. But, you know, fantasy, sometimes it just be what fantasy is. But damn. Lex says eligible in some leagues for IR depending on league rules. Yeah, I mean, it depends. I guess in our league that Tony was talking about, if you're out, you're eligible for IR. Jordan says DJ Moore or Brian Thomas Jr. for my flex. Give me BTJ. Austin says, is Jonathan Brooks still a guy worth holding on to? I'd say yes. William says start Downs or D-Hop half PPR. I'm probably going to start Downs over D-Hop in the half PPR. And then Austin says Austin Eckler is available on the waiver wire. Man, if Austin Eckler is available on the waiver wire, then would I drop Jonathan Brooks? Potentially. I guess, yeah, I might drop Jonathan Brooks for Austin Eckler if he's available on the waiver wire. Rory says, hey, man, I've got both Rashad White and Bucky. Who do I start this week, and do I trade one? Yeah, I'd probably be looking to trade one. I have Rashad White higher than Bucky Irving in my rankings, so I would be playing Rashad over Bucky. But, yeah, I probably don't want both of them. I'd probably try and move one and get two different backfields. Porter says, how do I make fair trades for QBs in a 1 QB league? I mean, it's just looking at fit. 1 QB is a little bit tougher. Obviously, you need to look at team needs. What do guys need? If you're heavy at running back and a guy could use a running back and you could give them a lesser QB plus your running back to go get an upgraded QB, something like that. Like, that's what I would be trying to do. It's really tough to try and make like single 1 quarterback for 1 quarterback trades in a 1 QB league. So you probably got to get a little bit more creative, give them a piece on top, something that they're missing, and make it happen. RSG says Spears or Mason, PPR. Everyone else is hurt or on bye or could pick up Akers. I think this is risky. Damn, this is a tough one. I think I'm going to play Spears over Mason. Half PPR. Should I start Tank Dell, DJ Moore, or Josh Downs? I would go Josh Downs. Romeo says, do I risk playing Tyreek? He's another guy that I think you can risk to play. If you do want to risk, make sure you have your insurance options. Like I said, you got to have like a Jonnu Smith on the roster, an OBJ on the roster. Somebody that you can plug in worst case scenario in the flex, and make sure that you move Tyreek to the flex for Monday night so you have more flexibility if he does miss. But yeah, I would risk playing Tyreek. He's a game breaker unless you have legitimate options. And when I say legitimate options, I'm like, if you can play a DeAndre Swift, a Tyrone Tracy, a James Conner, Kareem Hunt type of player, or even at the wide receiver position, like if you're playing a guy like, McLaurin, Pickens, Devontae Smith over even a Tank Dell over Tyreek, I'd probably go with those options over Tyreek just to be extra safe if you don't want to risk it. Joe says non-PPR pick 2, Tyrone Tracy, Kareem Hunt, CMC coming off of IR. I think I'm going to go Kareem Hunt and CMC. Nick says half PPR, Kmet or Theo Johnson. I'm going with Kmet. If your team has a good record, I'd keep Brooks for possibility he goes off at the end of the season. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing, and I've been talking about him as a stash. Kyler scares me today. I'm looking to start Staff or Aaron Rodgers instead. Your thoughts? Yeah, I think I have Kyler lower than some of those guys in my rankings. Let's just look at it. Stafford, I have him as a top 8 quarterback this week. So I'd be playing him. And then I got Aaron Rodgers as 14, Kyler Murray at 16. So, yeah, Stafford would be my play out of those guys. All in one, stream Giants or Denver defense this week. I would probably be playing the Giants defense. I have them as a top 5 defense this week. We could keep playing them, especially against Bryce Young in Germany. Boston, would you trade Ladd, Njoku, and Pollard for Cook and Reed? Yes. Singletary, Benson, or Corum, the better handcuff to have. Don't have any of their lead backs. I think Corum, Benson, Singletary in that order. Corum, he is past his bye week, and the Rams have the best remaining schedule for the running back position, so I'd play him. And then Benson would be after that. So that would be the order. Corum, Benson, Singletary. And shout out Frizz with a super chat. $5 in the chat, 14-man standard. If Trevor is out rest of season, Parker or Gabe or neither. Also Trey Benson or Estime. So for me, I mean, it probably be neither of those 2 options, but if I do have to pick between one of them, I think I'm going with Parker over Gabe. I just think he's a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage, might help Mac Jones. And then Trey Benson or Estime, I like Trey Benson more as the stash. So appreciate you for the super chat. That's a reminder, folks. If you want to skip the line, you want to get all the way to the top, just like Frizz did, super chat is the best way to do that. You don't have to do that. I'm trying to work my way down through all of it, but if you want to, this is the best way to do it. Appreciate you, Frizz. That does help support the channel, so thank you very much. Jonathan says, do you think Nico Collins plays? I think he will. I'm risking and gambling myself in my own league. So, I mean, that tells you where it is. I'm gambling. Romeo says, can you rank Njoku, Ferguson, Kraft, Pitts, and Andrews rest of the season half PPR? Yeah, I'd probably go in order of which I'd like them to be. Probably Andrews, Pitts, Njoku, Ferguson, Kraft, in that order. Trick says, slept on it and still concerned about ETN, Javonte, Rico, or Singletary. Yeah, that's tough. I probably would still go Javonte over those options. Eckler or Tracy, full PPR. It's Tracy for me. Tracy's the start of the week for me. I think he's going to have a smash play this week. Joe says, non-PPR, pick 2. Cup, Neighbors, Pickens. Starting Jefferson already. I would go with Neighbors and Cup. RSG says, pick 2. Goff, Baker, and Russell Wilson. Give me Baker and Goff. I think we just pulled that one out there. What am I doing? MOB mobbing. Do I risk playing Tyreek or throwing DJ Moore / JMO? These are better options. I just don't love DJ Moore. I think I'd risk it on Tyreek, man. I think I'd risk it. Assuming you can handle the risk. If you cannot handle the risk, you need to get a win this week. You got to go with the safe option in DJ Moore or JMO. But I'd risk it. Aiden, Rodgers or Danny Dimes this week? Give me Rodgers. I got Danny Dimes. We haven't even talked about Danny Dimes. It's a good matchup for him, but I still got him outside of the top 15. I got Aaron Rodgers one spot above him. All right. Where else are we at? Got all that spam from that one person, whatever it was. Frizz also throws out another super chat. Frizz, you to go, man. $2. Is Chris Rodriguez Jr. worth a pickup or nah? I think he's a speculative ad. You know, if B-Rob is continuing to be out, they worked in Chris Rodriguez a little bit last week. If you can afford to pick him up and hold him through the week, I don't think it's a bad idea. But I don't think I'm playing Chris Rodriguez, so it'd just be picking him up to hold him and see what happens. Excuse me. All right, folks, we are at about the halfway point of the morning, about 30 minutes to game time. So we'll do another 30 minutes, assuming you guys have enough questions. If you guys don't have any more questions, that's fine too. But I just want to answer as many questions as I can for you guys this morning. I know it's a little bit early. I know some people aren't up and ready to go yet. Want to remind you folks, if you want to support the show, and not only do you want to win your fantasy football league, but you also want to win over on Underdog. Underdog has a promo right now for new customers. This is for the Sunday night game, so you got to use this promo today. But if CJ Stroud gets 1 total yard, you will win that part of your pick'em entry. And you get this promo by signing up with code League FFB. There is going to be a link in the description for this as well, but you can just type in League FFB, all caps, when you sign up, and they will also give you up to $1,000 in bonus cash. So not only are you going to get the free pick'em for CJ Stroud, which will hopefully help you win some money, but you also get some free money on top of that just by depositing and using the code League FFB. If you've never played on Underdog, I would very strongly suggest you go try it out. It is one of my favorite platforms to play on here in the fantasy community. Even if they were not a sponsor of the show, I would be a customer of Underdog. I would be a player over on Underdog, no matter what, was long before they sponsored the show. So blessed to have that sponsorship here in today's episode. But if you want to sign up, use code League FFB. It's the best way to do it. And like I said, you will get this free pick for Sunday Night Football with CJ Stroud. Now, additionally, if you want to go join our free Discord, there is a free Discord linked in the description. That is going to be the best place to keep asking me questions later in the morning, because as you know, with the Germany game, we get the game early, we do the stream early, but we don't get that final injury report until about 11 a.m. 11:30, I think maybe is when it officially comes out. So that is going to be the best place to get all of that news when that comes out. If you have any additional start-sit questions after that official injury report comes out, that'll probably have CMC news on it. That'll probably have some other news like that on it as well. That's the best place to do that. So go do those things for me. And let's get back to the questions, man. Y'all got any more questions? William, super chat. Appreciate you, Brody. What do we got? Zay and D-Hop for Metcalf, a fair trade. I think it's probably a fair trade, but honestly, for me, I'd probably prefer to have the Zay and the D-Hop side right now, unless you have depth and you can afford to get rid of the depth and you can consolidate and go get Metcalf. But right now, the way that D-Hop played last week, the way that Zay's been this year, I think I prefer the Zay and D-Hop side just by a little bit. All-in-one says traded Kittle and Swift for Puka and Connor. Good move. Needed a wide receiver and have Kelsey at tight end also. Yeah, I think that's a good move. Swift and Connor I view fairly similarly rest of the way. Connor has a pretty good back half schedule, so he should have some good games. Kittle and Puka, again, pretty good assets. I think Puka, if you already have Kelsey, that just is a no-brainer. So yeah, it makes a sense to me, and it's a good move for you. Dylan, full PPR, different leagues. You start sit these guys. So we get one running back here, Singletary, Akers, Rodriguez. Give me Singletary. One quarterback, you get Baker or Kyler. Give me Baker. You pick two between Komet, Taysom, Ertz, Pearsall, Javonte Williams, and Sutton. I'm going to go with Javonte Williams and Sutton. Unfortunately, I think you play both of those guys. One flex and one tight end, Pearsall or Dunze. I'm going to go Dunze and then Ferg or Hunter Henry. Give me Ferg. Porter says drop May for A-Rod, Caleb Williams, or Tua, or keep Drake May. My other QB is Stafford. Good question. The only one that I think I'd consider dropping Drake May for right now is Tua. But let's hold on to Drake May this week. I'd play Stafford. I'd start Stafford. Let's hold on to Drake May this week. But Tua is interesting. Tua is interesting on that waiver wire. Austin said, would you play Daniel Jones or Stafford? I'd play Stafford over Daniel Jones, and then or Tua. I'd still go Stafford over them, over Tua as well. Tua's pretty high in my ranks as well. I got him as a low-end QB1, QB11, but Stafford, I got him as a top 8 quarterback right now, so we'd be playing him. Man, when I tell you I've been sick for like 2 weeks, bro, shit sucks. It's getting a lot better, but I swear I've been sick for like 2 weeks, bro. This shit sucks. What else we got? Lastly, what about Stroud? Okay, so compare him to those other guys. I'm still going to go Matthew Stafford, man. I'm still going to go Matthew Stafford. All right. Let's see where we at. Let me just make sure we're not missing any news this morning. Usually they throw some news out about the game. Austin says, I hate when sickness goes on for multiple weeks. Dude, me too, man. And I don't get sick that often, but I feel like when I get sick, sick. And so, like, it lasts for a while. It's annoying. Chris, I need some help, man. Tony Pollard has a tough matchup in the flex. Pollard or Juwan Jennings. I think I'd still play Tony Pollard despite the tough matchup. He's going to get a lot of usage no matter what. Drew says Daniel Jones or Kyler Murray. Oh, man. I think I'm going Daniel Jones here, man. I have Daniel Jones right now as QB 15. Kyler Murray is QB 16, so I'm going to go Daniel Jones there. I'm glad I pulled up this this news just because it does look like right now, folks, Tyreek Hill is a true game time decision is what they're listing him as. So it sounds like it's just a 50-50 coin flip for Tyreek Hill. It sounds like Christian McCaffrey is ready to play. So he is going to be playing in this one. So it'll be interesting to see that. Porter says rest of season. Aaron Rodgers' strength of schedule looks real good. Going to keep an eye on him. Yeah, he's interesting as well. The rest of the season is pretty good. I mean, I'll pull up his rest of the season schedule. We can talk about that a little bit. I'll actually leave that on the screen so people know what we're talking about. But when I go to my strength of schedule tool, schedule adjusted, quarterbacks, yeah, it's the 12th easiest right now. So he gets Arizona this week, which is good. Indy next week, which is good. Then they're on bye. Then you got Seattle, which is a good matchup. Week 14, the first week, or I guess the week before your playoffs, you get Miami, which is technically a bad matchup, but I don't think that that's actually a bad matchup because the quarterback position is scoring less against Miami right now because they didn't have two in the lineup for a long time, so those games were slow. Then you get Jacksonville, first week of the playoffs. Los Angeles, good matchup. Second week of the playoffs. Buffalo is the only one that's probably tough. That's your championship game. But, I mean, we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 5 of his last 7 games being good matchups and then a bye week. Aaron Rodgers is definitely somebody to keep an eye on. Reversal says pick 2. Puka, CD, Collins. I mean, with these options, I would rather just not risk on Collins at all, and I'd probably just play Puka and CD. There's a chance that Collins outscores CD this week. There's a chance that he outscores Puka as well, but these are legitimate options, and any chance of Collins potentially not playing or playing a limited snap count or whatever it may be, let me just go with Puka and CD this week because these are the top 12 guys in my ranking still no matter what. All right, let's go back over here. All right, folks, let's keep those coming in. Let's keep those questions coming in. I guess doesn't necessarily have to be fantasy related. Could be NFL related. Could be, I guess, whatever. If you want to go off topic for a couple minutes, I mean, whatever. We could go off topic. Don't matter to me. Reversal says, is Puka a must start? To me, I mean, I probably would consider him a must start. I have him as a top 10 play this week. I'd play him over A.J. Brown. I'd play him over Drake London, over CD. I'd play him over a bunch of these big names. He's a top 10 guy for me, so yeah, I'm throwing him in. And that's assuming you're playing full PPR as well. Yes, doesn't look like we have any other news right now. Probably not going to get any other news. They did have the official inactives and actives for the Germany game. Nothing crazy. Sounds like Jonathan Brooks obviously being out. Ike Okonkwo or Ekwonu or whatever his last name is. I can't remember what his last name is. Ike, he's not playing. Darius Slayton not playing. That should be it. CJ says, good morning, bro. pick 3. Collins, D-Hop, DJ Moore, Pickens. I think I'm going to go Pickens, Collins, and D-Hop. Trick says, if I flex Ridley, I can't sub him for Nico if he doesn't play, but then I'd be left to flex Rico or ETN. Yeah, I mean, Rico or ETN, those guys would play beforehand, right? If I'm in your situation, I'm probably waiting on Nico, and if Nico doesn't play, I mean, look, guys, we're talking about backup options about Nico. I think he's gonna play. I'd say he's on the better side of a 50-50 coin flip. But look, other options you could do. You could try and pick up guys on Detroit or Houston. Khalif Raymond, a guy like, I don't know, anybody. I mean, you just pick up anybody and try and flex them and see what we can make happen. Even on Miami, I think Jonnu Smith would be a fine play. Potentially a guy like OBJ, Demarcus Robinson, anybody like that. So I think those are somewhat similar plays to ETN. Maybe not as good, obviously, but somewhat similar. And so if you have to wait or Nico doesn't play and surprises you, you can go to one of those options. All right, folks, it does seem like the questions have slowed down a little bit. So I'm going to go last call. I'm going to say final call on questions. We'll run about 5 more minutes. We'll go to 9:15. This game starts at 9:30. Give me about 15 minutes to set my lineups and do stuff like that. I think most of them are set, but I just want to, you go through and do the double check. But yeah, I'm going to call 5 minutes. 5-minute call. Throw in those last questions. I'll answer whatever you got. Like I said, anything you got, NFL related, fantasy related, life related, whatever we want to talk about for 5 minutes, throw it in the chat. I'm happy to talk about it, and we can get on out of here and start our Sunday, man. Appreciate you guys being here for sure. Just checking this last thing. Bang. Trick says sleeper app lets you flex one player weekends. So like if Nico doesn't play, then we'll sub in a 1 o'clock player. Okay, yeah, I mean that makes that you're using the auto sub feature, which is a cool feature. We don't use it in we haven't used it in any of my leagues. We didn't really vote. We kind of voted on that, and people didn't really like the idea of it. I agree though, fun app. They obviously come up with a lot of creative things. I think it's very interesting. Risking it for the biscuit going with Nico. We in it together, Porter. Me and you, we're both risking. I'm waiting on Nico as well. Rafi says, your advice is more accurate than everybody else. Well, I love to hear that. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to shoot 100%. We are trying to predict the future, so it's obviously really hard to try and do that. But that makes me feel good, man, that you feel like my advice is accurate, because I spend a lot of time, trying to get as knowledgeable as I can about this and give you guys the best advice, at least give you the advice that I wish that I could, give myself at times. So appreciate you, Rafi. That means a ton. We got start Tua or Daniel Jones today. Worried Tyreek won't play on Monday. That's a good one. I got Tua higher than I got Daniel Jones in my rankings, but if you're worried that Tyreek's not going to play, that would obviously move Tua down my rankings. I think I still lean with Tua, though. Swift or Tracy in PPR, I think I'm going to go with Tracy over Swift. What do you think scores for Giants Panthers? It's probably going to be pretty low. I bet we get less than, what's the projected game total in this one? The game total's 40. That feels high. I think we go under that 40.5 projected game total. Probably 40 I'm going to say 24... 24-17 maybe. That's probably not even under the game total. Yeah, it's probably over the game total. I guess, yeah, 24-17. That's probably what I would do. New York Giants win. 7 goat rings. What's good, brother? Hope all is good. Been a long time since I've been here, but I'm bike. Love to see it, goat rings. I was actually just thinking about you the other day because we did a Dynasty trade show, and I was like, I don't know if I've seen a goat rings trade hit this chat for a while. Was wondering about you. He says start Addison over Hill. Worried he might not play. If you are worried, I would start Addison. I think it's all going to come down to risk aversion for me. So if you need Tyreek Hill to win your week, I'm obviously just going to risk it for the biscuit and go try and make that happen. But if you have legitimate options like this, I definitely am okay playing Addison over Hill if you're worried about it. Hill hasn't been great as of lately either, so I get it. Vince says, in an important close projected match, play Nico and roll the dice or play Hubbard with Brooks out again. In an important close projected match, I think if it's important and it is projected to be close right now, you need to make sure that you get production. I think Chuba Hubbard is going to be a great play here in this game, so I think you can still play Chuba Hubbard over Nico. And just not risk Nico not playing potentially. BTJ without Lawrence or Leggett. I'm still going BTJ. And then he says, thanks for all the advice. And then Goat Ring says, I have still been making trades, just haven't gotten them on here. I'll get back on it for you. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, we've been ripping some of these trade shows. I got another trade show coming out today. It's not a Dynasty trade reviews, but I'm talking about Dynasty trades that I've been making. I made 10 trades in the last 30 days on a rebuilding roster, and that video's coming out today. Rest of the season, Tyler Lockett, Demarcus Robinson, or Jalen McMillan. I'm going to go J-Mac the rest of the season over Tyler Lockett. I think that's it, folks. I'm going to wrap it up right there. I said we'd go till about 9:15. It's 9:14. But that's it. So again, folks, appreciate you being here. As always, waking up early with me to go watch this Bryce Young, Daniel Jones showdown, like of course only Roger Goodell would give us. Anthony says thoughts on Mac Jones. I think he's going to be okay this week. Probably a guy who's like QB 24, 25 range. But yeah, that's it, folks. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I am going to hit it with you one more time by letting you know that our friends over at Underdog, they are offering a free pick for CJ Stroud on Sunday Night Football. So if you want to get this tonight, literally if CJ Stroud throws for 1 yard, you cash that part of your pick and play. So it's a very easy freebie type of pick to help you win some money. They are giving that to anybody who signs up using code League FFB. When you sign up, they'll also give you $1,000 in bonus cash. So you want to get some free money in the bonus cash. You want to win some money because you got the freebie CJ Stroud pick, and you want to support the show. Code League FFB over on Underdog. It is the best place to do that. There is a link in the description for that as well. And like I said, it supports the show. So if you just got some, an extra $10 around, you want to bet it on something tonight, you want CJ Stroud to, go for 1 yard and help you win some cash, that's the way to do it. But I have nothing else for you guys today. Good luck in your matchups this week. Hit the Discord if you have any other questions. There's a free Discord linked in the description. I'll be in there answering some questions as we get there later today. Anthony, you hit the nail on the head. He says, have a great day. Thank you, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Till then, peace out.